Radio.
Great, right?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shit Radio. I'm Brasky. That's Liars.
Hello.
That's Wasted.
Hey,
And we are your unrefined podcast for the everyman. Right now, we're going to talk about our dear buddy Wasted and his latest things that he's seen. So this is a segment that we like to call Wasted Goes to the Movies. Wasted, what movies have you seen lately? What can you tell us about them?
watched Beverly Hills Ninja yesterday, and I watched Asteroid City the other day. Asteroid City is like Wes Anderson movie, so it's really deadpan. And then I thought after watching that, thought I saw the Beverly Hills Ninjas on Netflix, so I just threw that on, and that's just a fun time. It almost seems like it was made in the 80s. I don't know if anybody thinks that, but I think it was 1997. But it seems like a real 80s style movie.
Wasn't that Farley's
Yeah.
big last movie? I know he made another one. What was it? Wagons East or something like that, or Wagons West, one of those two. But wasn't that Farley's last movie?
Probably, yeah. I mean, he's
the-
doing the ultimate Farley, just destroying racks of ninja ashes in front of a blonde.
It's such a great, like, when everybody thinks of Chris Farley, they think of Tommy Boy and what's the other one there that they think of? But this one has to be included in Farley's top movies, like Beverly Hills Ninjas. It's classic Farley. It's so funny.
Yeah, Wagons East or Wagons West. That was John Candy's last movie. Believe it or not, Chris Farley's last movie is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's such a great character. He's in Dirty Work, where he plays Jimmy No Nose, and he's going after the Saigon whore that bit off his nose.
What a great movie. What a great
Totally.
movie.
Totally an amazing movie. But we were talking about Beverly Hills Ninja. I remember when it came out. It's from 1997. It's just a really, really good Chris Farley movie. You got Chris Rock in it. You got Nicolette Sheridan from the Desperate Housewives later. And she used to be on those Skinamax movies back in the day. So, Wasted. Give us the full review of Beverly Hills Ninja now, damn it.
The full review. It's
Yeah,
just a
I
fun
demand it.
movie to watch. It's just a fun comedy to watch. It's just, all the way through the movie, Chris Farley's just basically messing up, destroying things by accident. Whatever he does is a disaster, and everything gets destroyed, and somehow it turns out right. Just even when he's just at the end of the movie, he's running. He's running to take his take the van, out of the ninja village, and it stops, and he runs into the back of it. There's a Doberman pinscher. There's a Doberman scene. It somehow ends up in a sling. Chris Rock is chasing a chicken for half the movie. I think as part of his training to become a ninja. But yeah, I think Chris Farley, he starts out in the ninja, just being terrible at being a ninja in the ninja village, and then he just basically gets sent on a mission or something to Beverly Hills, and that's basically the movie. And then
I'm telling you, you're no Roger Ebert right now. I'm very disappointed. Liars, add me, please.
Well, I think definitely should be noted that Chris Farley's character's name in the movie is Haru. So, yeah, he gets sent over to Beverly Hills to find Sally. Sally is Nicolette Sheridan, and hilarity ensues from there. I mean, there's the whole subplot involving him and his brother. That's the actual ninja, and or half brother, I should say. That's actual ninja. But I mean, it's there's not really much to it. It's Chris Farley as a ninja. That's all we need to know, and he's exactly as a ninja you would think he would be as a ninja. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's not a
Like
very
that.
complicated plot. It's just a bunch of chaos with a very simple plot, and it's almost like an action movie, except everybody's a ninja. And Chris Farley's the worst ninja ever, but somehow he
Worst
pulls it
ninja
off.
ever.
Well, that sums that up pretty nicely. Now you saw Asteroid City too, which you said is by Wes Anderson, who just likes to make overcomplicated movies. And I never saw this movie, but I remember seeing the trailer back in the day and went, "Wow, this looks like a Hollywood jerking themselves off to like, hey, look, we made a really unique, weird movie. It looks stupid as shit, was it?"
Is like in Oppenheimer, they're at Los Alamos. It's kind of set at
See,
Los Alamos, I think. Yeah, and but it's all done in the deadpan way, and there's some kind of story there going on between, but it's very, very like deadpan and slow and Anderson-y. Uh, but there's, it's hard to tell what's actually happening. But was it Scarlett Johansson's in it?
Oh,
Tom
nice.
Hanks. So I was
I'm
just
sorry,
basically
man.
watching it for Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson is so she's not naked in the movie. There's really no reason to watch her in a movie. Like people are like, oh, she's a great actress. No, she's not. No, she's boring.
Yeah, I think
Chris
she's
Farley gave
playing
a
an
better
actress
performance
in
in
the
Beverly
movie.
Hills
Yeah.
Ninja than what you're gonna ever find Scarlett Johansson do. She's like, oh my god, I was Black Widow. Congratulations, you wore black leather and you kicked people in the face and shot at people. Woof. Real acting skill there, my friend. Real acting skill.
I
Yeah, she sort of plays an actress in the movie. Um,
That must be
but it's all
hard.
very, I don't know if it's meta or something, but it's very stagey. The whole thing is very stagey, and it's hard to work out what is actually going on. But they're all talking to each other, and they're all living in these kind of like cabins in Los Alamos, I think, or Asteroid City. And then I think the main plot is that some aliens are coming down to visit them, and at the end of the movie, Jeff Goldblum turns up, and he's the alien. But
Oh, get it? Because he was in Independence Day. Woohoo!
but he's also, I think it's also, I think it's a movie. It's a what you're watching is something about a book that was at the beginning. It's like a screenplay or a book somebody's writing. So it's like a movie within a book or something, or a movie within a play. So it's really hard to understand. But visually, it's nice to look at. Like it looks like a sort of painting, like David Hockney paintings or something. Like if you just freeze framed it, it looks kind of good. But it's not very like easy to understand. You probably have to watch it like 3 or 4 times and maybe read something about it. I didn't know anything about it. I just had it on when I was drinking, and I was
You know
looking
what I
at.
like, Wasted? The contrast in the two films you watched. One is Beverly Hills Ninja, and I'm like,
Absolutely.
well, describe the plot. And you're like, it's just Chris Farley falling down, being the worst ninja ever, but somehow he makes it work, and it's funny as fuck. Then like, all right, we'll break down Asteroid City. But like, it's overcomplicated. You kind of got to read a book, and it's trying way too hard. It's like, I wonder how movies have changed in the last two
seriously.
decades.
It seems like a movie. Asteroid City seems like a movie for theater kids, and you need to know all about Wes Anderson movies.
Ugh.
Almost like you have to join a cult.
So what would be stranger, a David Lynch movie, which we've covered on the show before, or a Wes Anderson movie?
I think I don't know how long you can take deadpan. Everything in Wes Anderson movies is deadpan for like 2.5 hours. So I think it's weirder that nothing really happens in Wes Anderson movies. Whereas at least Lynch, he has the exploitative, you know, visuals.
Right.
So it's kind of you can kind of just squint your eyes and pretend you understand it, and it looks cool. Whereas Wes Anderson almost looks like a play right in front of you. Nothing moves. People don't have any expressions. So
What
after
happened to
two and
simple
a half
movies then?
hours,
Do you
I don't know what happened to
get
all
what I
these
mean? We're
like
just describing this.
phony comedies.
Yeah, like I'm thinking, like I was thinking in my head, Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's an action movie, but it's also a comedy because it's hilarious how he overacts in it, and the action sequences are completely absurd. But it's a very very simple movie. And like all these movies that come out now are just overcomplicated and just tedious to watch. Or they're really, really stupid and they're like Fast and Furious, where it's like, listen, we're gonna do the most insane shit you can imagine. These freaking streetcar racers from space, you know? And Vin Diesel's just gonna keep yelling about family. Somehow some car thief who used to street race now is a super secret agent.
Yeah.
Everything is just overcomplicated as fuck. Whatever happened to just simple? You go to the movies, it's like Burt Reynolds and Smokey and the Bandit. It's a long way to go. It's a short time to get there. You know, basic things.
I think they're trying to compete with Marvel movies in some way. Some of the movies, anyway. Like they take a simple idea, but they don't do it in a simple way. They try and turn it into a franchise that goes for like eight movies. When
How's that
really
working out
it's
for
just
Marvel?
Yeah, exactly. The the synopsis you gave kind of reminds me of a movie I just saw recently, and it just goes to exactly to what we're saying, how it's just overcomplicated, just too thought out, um, too complex, and it's Black Bag by Steven Soderbergh. And it basically, the movie is about a guy he's a intelligence officer who is tasked with finding a traitor within the organization, and on the list of names of traitors comes his wife. And it's pretty straightforward, but I watched that movie and I was just like, what the hell is going on here? Because it doesn't make any sense. And I had
I
to.
actually I actually watched
Yeah.
that movie recently myself too. I enjoyed it to a degree because I like spy movies, and I think Michael
Yeah,
Fassbender is a really good actor. But I agree with you
absolutely.
completely. It was overcomplicated for the sense of being overcomplicating. Like, hey, look how smart we are. I like to
Yeah.
compare it to another movie. If you ever seen an old movie, it was based off a John le Carre book. So John le Carre book. Um, it's called Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy with Gary Oldman. And that movie's brilliant, and its subtlety and its clues and how it acts.
Right.
It's slow, very British, which wasted could be like, oh, I love British things. Of course you do, buddy. But it's based off a John le Carre book, which that guy's like a really good spy novelist, where this other one just looks like, hey, I saw that movie. I'm going to try to copy that and try to make it look like, we're way smart. And if the audience can figure it out, they're smart kids too. If you're too stupid to figure it out, that's on you.
Yeah, I think the internet is, there's a lot of people use the internet and they discuss things. So before they go to the movie, they know everything about the pre-production and the story and
Yes.
everything. And then they're looking for like something. They already know the movie, but then they're looking for some twist or something, you know, something that surprises them. So they have to make them overly complicated for this kind of the nerds who have really like read up on stuff.
It seems like everything's a hat on a hat now. Nothing is like how it used to be before. Like if you ever watched The Usual Suspects back in the day, like and you watch that ending, you're like, oh wow, it surprised you. You didn't see it coming.
No.
When you watch a movie, it's like, okay, so what am I looking for? Where's the plot twist? Where I gotta keep up with the movie. I can't just enjoy the film. I gotta catch it so I know what happens at the end. It seems more like a task than actual, entertainment.
It's
Yeah, I just wonder what people are looking for in some of the movies. Because it's not always you can sort of understand if it's a spy movie, like The Good Shepherd, it's going to be a slow-paced movie. But yeah, the Tinker Tailor Soldier
That
Spy,
fucked.
that the plot is already been worked out by the car, so it's probably it kind of all makes sense in the end, but it's revealed very slowly. But yeah, it did seem like a classic movie. When I watched, I was like, I was expecting to turn it off because I was bored, but it was actually really good.
Yeah, and you were
And
mentioning earlier comedies like Beverly Hills Ninja is simple, but now like every new comedy that comes out has plot. It can't just be, okay, we're making a comedy to make you laugh. At the end, we have to give you a message about like why this movie had to be made and like, what the character learned at the end, which it's like, can't we just laugh? Like I didn't watch The Jerk with Steve Martin and go, boy, what did he learn at the end of this movie? Or Spaceballs and go, what did the characters learn? What do I take away as an audience member,
I think there's a lacking of suspension of disbelief now. I think everything you have to, it has to be relatable at some level. You can't just have a film anymore where it tells the story. It has to relate to real life somehow. Does that, am I off base on that, or am I going somewhere?
Yeah, it's
No,
like
I
they're
think you're going
playing
somewhere.
playing a trick on us. They want to play tricks on you rather than just let the movie reach its conclusion, and then they hide things from you and then reveal them. You know,
Yeah,
whereas in
yeah,
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, you kind of know everything that's happening. You can see it coming, but it's still kind of reaches its conclusion, and it feels more like profound. So you get this sort of feeling from it rather than, there wasn't a big reveal at the end where everything changed and they go, oh, you know, it's an alien that's come down or something. It didn't have, it stayed in reality for the whole movie and was still like made sense. But there wasn't any tricks played on you where you went, ah, you bastards.
Even in summer blockbusters now, there always has to be like a swerve. There always has to be something. There's not just like, all right, we're gonna blow a bunch of shit up and make it somewhat realistic, and you as an audience member can enjoy. But like everyone's got to have like a cheesy line. It's not like a Nick Cage movie. Like, do you remember how great the '90s were? Where like Nick Cage, you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna make Con Air. I'm gonna make Face Off. I'm gonna make The Rock. Yeah, there's gonna be logical plot holes and make absolutely no sense, but they're going to be incredibly enjoyable. And I haven't experienced anymore. You can be like, oh, Brasky, it's just because you're getting older. It's like, dude, go on streaming and tell me what compares to those types of movies nowadays, please. I'm just audience. Below in the comment section if you think I'm being too harsh or if I'm just being, the old man that just complains everything's shit and I'm yelling at clouds. Let me know. Let us know. Put it in the comment section because kind of feel that, everyone now has to be too smart. Everyone has to go, look at me, I'm special, woohoo!
yeah.
And
I agree.
make movies that are not just simply there for entertainment, but they have to have a message. They have to be like, see, this is why we're better than every other filmmaker.
Yeah. Which is a shame because I'd love to just go watch a movie, a film, whatever, and just watch it evolve naturally and come to a great conclusion, and you know settle down afterwards and talk about it and be like, hey, that was a pretty good movie. Now it's just, did you see that explosion, or did you see, it's this happened, like, I don't know, it's when you think of, like, even back down into the 70s and 80s when they didn't have the special effects that they do now, and they relied more on storytelling and proper storytelling to get their point across.
Dude, look at Jaws. The whole plot. There's a
Dude, it's
shark.
exactly what I'm thinking of. It's funny that you said it because it's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Take it then, brother.
Yeah, it's because you you don't even see the shark for the majority of the movie, but you know it's there. This movie terrified people to go in the water. People didn't want to go in the water after watching this movie because they were terrified of massive great white shark that was going to come eat them, and it obviously not happening, but it was a work of fiction. But
Eh, I can tell
and
you, I live in that area, buddy. There be great whites out there now, pal.
yes, there are. Yes, there are. But for argument's sake, the movie is a work of fiction, and the likelihood of being attacked by a great white shark is really slim, right? They just don't happen very often. Great white shark attacks, right? They just don't
We're
happen very
hoping
often.
so. Unless you're gonna be like, we're doing a new episode of Sheet Radio. Brasky's no longer with us. Why? He went to the beach. His fat ass got eaten by a shark. I mean, it'd be a great episode. I encourage you guys to crack a lot of jokes, but I mean, don't you put that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby. You know? It's simple. It's like, hey guys, what's the plot? There's a shark, it's eating people. Well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna hunt it. Okay, how's the movie gonna end? We're gonna kill the shark. There's nothing complicated about it.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's about the realism and simplicity rather than the crazy stunts and stuff take you out of the movie in a way because you're just sitting there going, "This is never going to happen." So the whole thing just seems like bullshit, basically. When you got like in was it Fast and Furious movies? I don't know, they're driving like huge like lot trucks over making massive jumps over canyons and stuff. Or like a fleets of Ferraris loading up onto some kind of special truck or something like that. Just doesn't seem
Like
very realistic.
Wasted. I don't remember the exact Bond movie it is, but it's the Bond where he's in Vegas and it's for a day, and he jumps the fucking car like over like a thing of water over a bridge, and everyone's like, "Oh wow, that's completely realistic." You know what I mean? Like that could actually happen. You remember what Bond movie that was?
Diamonds are forever.
Thank you, liars. But do you know what I mean? Like you went from something that's like, "Oh, okay, that's realistic," and hey, this makes sense why it's in the movie, to now it's like, yeah, no.
But then in those Fast and Furious movies, in between all these crazy stunts, they all pretend to be like a family and have a barbecue.
Yes.
It doesn't make any
Oh,
sense.
family.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about family. I don't know why you don't know this, CIA or FBI, whoever secret government agency we're working for. Ugh.
Driving like pink sort of sports cars around, completely conspicuous, robbing a bank with 7 neon pink Ferraris.
Yeah. Everyone with smartphones and all the CCTV cameras, no one's picking up on these people. They're so clever that this isn't making national news and like going viral on social media. It's not on
It's
YouTube.
all,
Like, hey, did you see these assholes that robbed the bank or just pulled off this crazy stunt?
and all the barbecue smoke. They virtually burn down their house with a barbecue every Friday, after every mission.
Yeah. So good.
Uh,
I will like to add that the Fast and Furious franchise has given my my youngest son and my wife some strong bonding time together because they just powered through all the movies. My son's really into, but he's also 8 years old, right? So he's really into
Target
the.
audience.
Yeah, exactly. So him and my
Well, this
wife
is
just
completely
powered through all of
realistic.
them. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I always want to see like what's new for movies because like you just don't want to keep rewatching the same again. But I find that I end up just keep rewatching the same movies over and over again. Or I'm like, oh look, there's a documentary on. I'd rather watch that than whatever the new movie is because they're just so boring. They're so the same thing. It's utter shit. Wasted. Is there anything else you saw? Because sometimes you go like real in depth. You'll be like, listen, I found this 1980s B movie and I was just totally watching it. Is there anything else?
Um, I I did watch some like Chinese Thai movie. It's basically, I think it's called How to Make Millions Before Your Grandma Dies, and it's some kind of Chinese soap opera style movie, but it was filmed in Thailand, and it's all about a son who's very selfish, and I think his friend or his sister kind of uh, helps assists uh, her grandfather from to die, in a hospital, and then she inherits his house. So when his grandmother's dying, he starts to do the same thing. He's like playing on a Game Boy or a Switch or something. All he does is game, and then suddenly he has this idea that he's gonna, get on the good side of his grandma. And it's on Netflix. It's kind of a sad movie, really, but it's kind of good. I think it's a decent movie, but it's not all action and stuff. It's kind of a little bit depressing. If you want to cry, we can watch that. Because the grandma gets like cancer, and he's helping her, and then he realizes throughout the film that he doesn't, he should really be a better grandson or something like that. Yeah. It's quite depressing, and you might cry at the end.
I
I
don't
just
want to.
love picturing that Wasted just drunk in his apartment, just crying to this movie. That makes me happy and
Regretting
sad at the same time.
Yeah.
Liars, have you
regretting
seen
my life
anything?
decisions.
Yeah, don't we all? I mean, here's where we are, folks. Woo! Anything else lately that you're like, yeah, let me talk about that, or nah?
Yeah, I've been watching shitty horror movies on Amazon Prime. Is what I've been watching. Very low budget horror movies, which are, I don't know, they're doing something to my brain. I think they're making me into a psycho, but they're there's a lot of trash on Amazon, and I seem to be finding it very often lately.
Has anything stood out to you? Like, boy, this they're trashy that we can tell the audience to go watch.
There was a movie with Ethan Hawke, and he was a father, and there was a demon that was in the pictures. It was coming alive and getting him, and haunting his family. It was pretty decent. It's on Amazon Prime. The name of it escapes me, but I mean, if you just type in Ethan Hawke and you'd find it, but it's pretty good. But other than that, no, man. I mean, like I said, low budget horror movies. It's just trash. Trash.
Yep, pretty much the same here. Nothing I've seen has been anything really good lately. Um, I kind of liked Black Bag because I like Michael Fassbender, but I get your guys' point on it. It wasn't great, but yeah, movies kind of suck, and
Yeah, they do.
we're really hoping they get better. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. It's hoping would get better. We lived in a golden age, and now it's like, there's nothing on fucking TV. I'm just gonna watch YouTube because there's nothing on TV. See, algorithm, help us out. We just promoted YouTube.
There we
I
go.
got nothing else. Wasted liars. Do you got anything? If not, we should probably thank our audience and take us out for the evening. Then thank
Alrighty.
you.
Thank you. I'll take us out. Thanks for listening, everybody. Look for us on YouTube. That's our main platform. Hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We'll get back to you. We're currently going through all the old comments right now, and we'll get to yours eventually. And if you're not finding us on YouTube, look for us on Rumble and look for us on Spotify, and from there, wherever else you get your podcasts. And on that note,